price of lithium has gone through the roof since late 2020. Looking at December through where we are now in January, the price is up about 40%. And what that means for some of the smaller ASX-listed lithium miners is that their share prices have skyrocketed 60, 70, 80, 90, 150% for the top 6 lithium exposed companies on the ASX. Welcome to Shares in Play. We look at the top thematics on the Australian market and then drill down to see the companies within that constituent pushing the market higher. Here we are with the top 6 companies on the ASX exposed to lithium. Now, first off out of the gates, we've got Sayona Mining. SYA is a ticker, 158%. Now, the company is an emerging lithium miner with projects in Quebec, Canada, and then also tenements in Western Australia. The critical news here is that Piedmont Lithium, being a dual-listed lithium miner, both on the ASX and the NASDAQ, has invested US $12 million to acquire 19.9% of Sayona Mining. And that's with a binding supply agreement for 50% of Sayona's Quebec's spodumene concentrate production. Now, Piedmont Lithium is producing or targeting around 160,000 tonnes per year of spodumene concentrate and manufacturing battery quality lithium hydroxide based in North Carolina, USA. So that's supplying the electric vehicle, the battery supply chains in both the US and global markets. And they're leveraging those US locations. So having this large player that's well known in the lithium space dump a heap of cash, 12 million US, into SYA, that's setting the share price running through the roof. And what's a common theme across all of these lithium miners is they're ticking the boxes for what's called a high and tight flag. Now, high and tight flag is a trading pattern that comes from explosive movements and quite often is very highly reliable to see another explosive movement if the criteria is met. So have a look at that video if you want to see how the high and tight flag works, because all of these companies here are ticking those boxes and ones to watch for further explosive movements. Now we move into the second one on the space, which is Core Lithium. CXO is the ticker, up 90% over the month. Now again, lithium miner, and they're boasting to be one of the most capital efficient lithium projects in Australia. And arguably, they have the best logistics chain to any markets. And this is with the Finniss project. The Finniss lithium project is within 25 kilometres to power stations to ports, to gas, to rail, and 1 hour by sealed road to workforce accommodation in Darwin. Now, the critical aspect here is how close they are to the Darwin port, because Darwin is Australia's closest port to the Asian markets. So they've got high leverage to getting that product out to market with lower costs than those who are centred in the middle of Australia, which has much more logistical cost of getting to market. Now we move out to the third one is AVZ Minerals. A lot of lithium traders know this company really well. They're up 87% over the last month. Now they're known for the projects in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. And what's come out is their recent news on meteorological tests on their primary lithium sulfate monohydrate bench scale test work. Now that's been sent off to Canada. It was confirmed technically feasible for independent testing, and that showed that the primary lithium sulfate had a higher than or more than 80% lithium content that can be readily produced, and that's leading out to lithium hydroxide monohydrate used in battery production, a critical market for the electric vehicles and technology. Having a look, rounding out the top 6, we've got PepinNini Minerals, up 75% over the month. Then we have Lepidico, up 69% for the month. LPD is the ticker. And then final one, rounding out the top 6 lithium miners on the ASX over the last month, is Anson Resources. ASN is the ticker, up 68% over the last month. Now, as you can see, there's a strong performance across the boards for these lithium miners. These charts have run exponentially. We're talking about huge, explosive movements in a very short period of time. Now, once again, This is the backbone. This is the core movement of a high and tight flag. And as we have seen many times before on the Australian market, when you have a strong commodity running hot, you quite often have an initial spurt. There's a consolidation, which creates the flag part of the high and tight flag. And this is where analysing and understanding that pattern can lead to getting on board for that next leg up, that next run up, which is quite often another 70 or 100% run again. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll come back to you again with more leading market thematics and the top companies within that theme.